Good morning, everybody. Today is August the 1st. Now, I'm not sure where the year's going because it seems to be going awfully fast, but I can tell you one place that it's not going. It's not going into my sleeping banking account. I have not been having great luck in the sleeping department. This is very common with people with Parkinson's. People with Parkinson's tend to have very disrupted sleep, and it's kind of unfortunate because when you think about it, when you're having off times or times when you're not feeling your very best, sometimes it'd be nice to just kind of escape and go into your bed for a little while. When you're younger, you don't get enough sleep because you're so busy, and then you're older, you tend to not get enough sleep for other reasons. So we're kind of a nation of sleep-deprived people. But when it comes specifically to Parkinson's, what happens for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I can't get any length of sleep. If I do get sleep, it averages 3 or 4 hours a night. And often that is broken into 2 different times with a time up in the middle. So therefore you don't seem to get a consistent length of sleep. And it's really hard for a person's body to heal and to recover and whatnot when that's the case. So you do everything that you think you can do in order to make your room calming and all the rest of it, but really it's just going to be a fact that you're not going to get a great quality of sleep. So when you're not getting good sleep, you think to yourself, well, what am I going to do? It's maybe the middle of the night, and what am I going to do? You can't make a clattering and wake up everybody, especially if you're in an apartment building. So then you tend to sit in your chair, and if you're sitting in your chair, then it's very easy, if you're not doing something, it's very easy for your body to kind of stop working. And if your meds stop working, then you just compound the issues, one on top of the other. Your body stops working, then no matter how tired you are, no matter how much you think you want to sleep, you can't physically get into bed and lay down. You can get to the bed, you can kind of flop over and be on your side, but if you're not comfortable, you're not going to sleep. And your body's just rigid and laying there, so that doesn't really work for me. So I would then say, I'm going to try and make my time in the middle of the night productive, and I would do something. But you don't realize that your brain isn't thinking correctly when you're denying yourself sleep. We have enough trouble with our brain, believe me. Parkinson's patients have enough trouble with their brain without putting lack of sleep on top of that. I don't, when I'm telling a funny story, I don't have to go very far back in my memory for my funny story. I can go simply to last night. Here I was in the middle of the night, and I was doing gosh knows what. I made supper for the next day. I had done a bunch of paperwork. Well, I had messed up my calendar, and I wanted to just simply take a blank piece of paper, make a new calendar page, and put it on top of the one that I had messed up. Well, the first thing I did was I glued a blank page on top of my calendar that was messed up but had everything written on it. So I've now covered up everything, all my notes, appointments, or anything. I've now covered that up. Then I decide that I'm going to make the calendar, and for whatever reason, I made and laid out my calendar so nicely, and then I looked back at it. And my week, instead of going Sunday to Saturday, it went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, never in my life has my Wednesday and Thursday been my weekend. So for what reason I started my week on a Thursday, who knows? But anyway, then I had to tear off all these pages. Well, I realized this was a direct result the fact that I had not had enough sleep. I just simply had not had enough sleep, and my brain was saying, well, you want to get this task done, we're going to just do it quickly, and it wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So if I had made an important decision, can you imagine what kind of a decision-making process that would have been? Wouldn't have been good. So therefore, I just had to say, okay, my calendar waits till the next day. So here I am the next day at 4:26 in the morning, thinking, should I make my calendar? Well, I'm not going to make my calendar until it's a little later in the day. I'm going to try to lay back down again. But there's no point in staying in bed when you're awake. So when you're awake, I get up and I try to do a few things. Sleep it's important for everybody. It really is. It's important for everybody. And the part that's kind of ironic to me, I had a bout of illness in last December, for 3.5 weeks. I was very sick. And then I had COVID in the new year here, and we were very sick. My husband had it as well, and my son and daughter-in-law. And we were very sick. Well, during those times of bad sickness, I was able to stay in bed for 3 weeks straight. Well, then I thought to myself, well, how could I stay in bed for 3 weeks straight when I can't get through a whole night regularly? But you see, that's your body healing. It allowed that. As a matter of fact, it didn't allow me to get up because I was too weak to get up. And so therefore, it didn't allow me to get up, and your body is able to heal much better if you are getting sleep. So there's something to be said for a balance. It's like you don't want to be so sick that your body says you're staying in bed. You want to be well enough to be out and doing things, but restful at night if can. And the other thing is, there is no shame or guilt in having a nap. If you can have a nap, if you have the ability to do that, the Parkinson patients that have young children and they're still working and they're still doing things, I do not know how they do it. I admire them so much because it is not easy. It is all I can do sometimes to get a meal. And then when I do get the meal, I have to time it, and I don't say, oh, we're going to have dinner at 5. Oh no. I say, I'm going to have a good time at 10 in the morning, so I'm going to make dinner. And then if I have a good time at 5, we'll put it in the microwave to heat it up, or the oven. If I don't have a good time at 5, well, then we will do it at 4 or 6. But there's no planning for me. I can't plan. I can invite people over, but they have to be free to wait until I'm able to get the meal done. And so there's no planning involved. And for somebody who's an organizer and a planner, I think that's the hardest part, is to just be patient. So that said, sleep's important. Don't make your calendars in the middle of the night. Make your calendars when you can think about what you're doing. And I think I'm going to say goodnight and maybe try to go and lay back down again. Have a good day, everybody.